Today I'm going to be reading Under the Lemon Moon by Edith Hope Fine, illustrated by Renee King Marino. And before I start reading, I just want to add that I am getting permission to read this book from Lee and Low Books, which is the publisher. Before we start reading, I want to just take a minute to make a prediction about what we think is going to happen in this book. So we can look at the front page and see the illustration there, and the title is Under the Lemon Moon. So from that, let's make a mental prediction, or you can write it down, whatever you choose to do. Alright, let's get started. Deep in the night, Rosalinda heard noises. Whish, sh, snap. What is that? She wondered, slipping from her bed. She peeked out past Mama's garden with its papa-clothes scarecrow and past the wash line. Way back by the lemon tree, something was moving. Heart-thumping, Rosalinda crept to the doorway. Blanca, her pet hen, fluttered down from the rafters. "Buck, buck, buck," barked Blanca. "Shh, shush, Rosalinda." The lemon wedge moon gave only a sliver of light. She waited for her eyes to grow used to the darkness. Then she saw branches shaking in the shadows. Rosalinda looked harder. A man with hunched shoulders was stuffing lemons into a cloth sack. Her lemons, from her tree. With Blanca under her arm, Rosalinda slipped out and hid behind the scarecrow. Who is this nightman? Why does he take my lemons? She wondered. Squawk! Blanca flew to the scarecrow's head. Rosalinda wobbled its sick, stiff arms. Ah! Cried the nightman. He grabbed the sack and fled. In the morning, Rosalinda touched the stump of a broken branch. Not a single lemon was left on the whole tree. A tear slid down her cheek. Oh, mio bolito, my little tree. Rosalinda crooned a sad song. So on this page, we can tell that Rosalinda is using a different language, and this language is Spanish. As Blanca walked along, she loved her lemon tree almost as much as she loved Blanca. Why, Blanca? Why did he do this? Rosalinda asked, clutching a bundle of twigs. Blanca's feathers drooped. So why do you think the man took the lemons? Think about that as we read along with the story. By the end of the week, many leaves of the lemon tree were yellow. Some had fallen. Rosalinda's worries got bigger. First the nightman, now her tree was sick. After breakfast, Rosalinda listened to the thrum-thrum of Mama's loom. I must do something, Rosalinda told her parents. Perhaps someone we know can help, Mama suggested, smoothing Rosalinda's hair back. A neighbor or friend, or your abuela, added Papa with a hug. He turned back to his workbench. Rosalinda set out. My tree is sick. What should I do? Rosalinda asked her neighbor, Esmeralda. I talk to my plants, said Esmeralda, tending her lush flower garden. I did that, thought Rosalinda. Aloud she said, Gracias. She caught up with Senor Rodolfo, her friend of a few words. My tree is sick. What should I do? She asked. Much water, he said, heading for the nearby mercado, the marketplace. I did that, thought Rosalinda. She remembered the heavy buckets of water she had lugged to her tree. Aloud she said, Gracias. So on this page, we learn From context clues, we can tell that gracias means thank you in Spanish, and mercado means the marketplace, and the author let us know right there. When Rosalinda arrived at her grandmother's house, Abuela was sitting on her porch in the morning sun. Rosalinda settled in close to her, watching Abuela's knitting needles flash. "What should I do for my tree, Abuela?" "It will take time for your tree to heal, mija," she said. "I will light a candle for you." "I haven't done that," thought Rosalinda. Although she said, "Gracias, abuelita," Abuela eased the worries from Rosalinda's forehead with her warm hand. "The candle will help, Rosalinda," Abuela said quietly. "Perhaps it will summon La Haciana, the old one. She helps things grow." Everyone had heard rumors of La Haciana, of her powers for bringing rain and making crops grow strong and tall. "Tell me again, Abuela," said Rosalinda. "For many years of full moons," Abuela began, "it has been said there lived an old wise woman with gentle eyes. She walks the countryside helping things grow." "Where can I find her?" asked Rosalinda. "No one knows, but they say La Haciana will come when she is needed." Rosalinda thought hard. "I need you. Please come, Haciana." All day and night Rosalinda waited, but La Haciana did not come. Do you think La Haciana will come? Let's make a prediction here. You can either do it mentally or you can write it down right now. And we'll keep reading. "Be back by sundown," called Papa as Rosalinda and Blanca left the house. Early the next morning, Rosalinda waved. She walked and walked, searching. Blanca bucked at her heels. Everywhere they went, Rosalinda called, "Haciana, Haciana." La Haciana did not answer. "Maybe she isn't real," Rosalinda said to Blanca. "Buck," chuckled the hen, as if she understood. As the sun slipped down the sky, Rosalinda told Blanca, "We must go home." They circled back through the mercado with its colorful stalls and busy shoppers. Then Rosalinda stopped. "Limones," said a sign on the last stall. Behind a man, a woman rocked a baby. Their two small children played nearby with pebbles. Rosalinda knew this man with hunched shoulders who was selling lemons. He was the night man, and the lemons were hers. Rosalinda shivered. She and Blanca ducked behind a stall lined with bright marionettes. "It's the night man, with lemons from my tree." Where are you, Haciana?" stammered Rosalinda. She stroked her quivering hen's soft feathers. Look at the illustration. Do you have any ideas why the nightman might have took Rosalinda's lemons? So there they are, and there's the woman rocking the baby. Make a mental prediction here, or a mental thought here, about why you might think that the nightman took her lemons. "I am here," came a low, sweet voice. Rosalinda jumped. Before her stood a woman with silvery hair. Her wrinkles were deep, her eyes gentle. Rosalinda knew. Filled with wonder, she couldn't speak. "You have looked far for me, Rosalinda," the woman said. "Tell me." The woman listened as Rosalinda whispered her story. "To take your lemons was wrong," La Haciana murmured. "Perhaps he had a need." From her flowing sleeve, La Haciana pulled a strong branch with tiny buds. Mira, watch, said La Ciana. Recuerdo, remember, the moon will be full tonight. Rosalinda listened with her head and mind as La Ciana spoke of how to heal the lemon tree. What need is La Ciana talking about here? What do we think when La Ciana says, perhaps he had a need to take the lemons? Think about it, right here. Let's make a prediction why we might think that he needed it. Looked like he had a family. If we look back at this photo, right, this illustration right here, there's a woman rocking a baby, and he's selling them. So he's selling them for money. So maybe his family needs them for money. He needed to take them because they didn't have any money or they were running low or whatever need they might have needed. Let's read on. That night, Rosalinda crept outside under the lemon moon. She closed her eyes. Mira e recuerdo. Watch and remember. Rosalinda tore an old rag into strips. She held La Ciana's branch against the stump of the broken branch of her lemon tree. They fit as naturally as a fat lemon fit in a Rosalinda's cupped hands. Round and round she pulled the ribbons of cloth, binding the two branches until they held as one. Moonbeams poured over the sickly tree, making yellowed leaves look silver. Tired, Rosalinda curled up under her tree and dozed. So pausing here, making a prediction, do you think that it'll work? Do you think that her lemon tree will be healed from La Ciana's branch that she gave her? Let's read on and find out. Look at this. She woke with a start when Blanca barked. Rosalinda rubbed her eyes, astonished. Her tree glowed golden in the night, dripping with lemons as big and round as baby moons. Arms wide, Rosalinda danced around the shimmering lemon tree. Blanca followed, wings aflutter. So there they are, dancing around the lemon tree. And you can see that it worked. See, there's where she bound the branch to the tree where it was sickly, and now it's all better. There's Blanca dancing, and there's Rosalinda dancing. They're so happy. And there's her family right there. The next morning, Rosalinda told Blanca, I know what to do. She piled fat yellow lemons into a wooden cart. Blanca perched on the lemon pyramid. Off they went together. So there they are. I wonder what they're going to do. Where do you think that they're going to go? Make a mental note, mental prediction. Where do you think they're going to go? They have all those lemons stacked up. They must be going somewhere. Friends and neighbors greeted her on the way. One by one, Rosalinda gave away the amazing lemons. Que grandes! How big! Gracias, says Esmeralda. Hermosos, said Señor Rodolfo. Lovely. Que jugosos! How juicy! Gracias, says Abuela. And there's her neighborhood. Rosalinda's giving all of her lemons to all of her friends and neighbors. That is so nice. When Rosalinda had given away all but one of her lemons, she headed for the last stall of the mercado. Rosalinda stared at the night man, and he stared back. Then her warm hand touched his cold, rough hand, and she gave him her last fat lemon. Lo siento, I am sorry. The man lowered his eyes. Rosalinda found her voice. Siembra las semillas. Plant the seeds, she told him. Do it tonight while the moon is still full." The man was quiet. He tilted his head towards his family with their worn clothes and hungry faces. "For you and for them," said Rosalinda. "I will do as you tell me," he said. So stopping right here, going back to why we predicted earlier why he might have needed to steal him, the author tells us here, and we can use context clues. He tilted his head toward his family with their worn clothes and hungry faces. So it sounds like they're in need of money. They're in need of food, and they don't have much, so that is why he stole from Rosalinda and her family. Rosalinda smiled. With a buck, 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 Blanca flapped into the little cart for the ride back home. She settled in, content. Rosalinda felt content too. Except for one fat hen, Rosalinda's cart was empty, but her heart was as full as a lemon moon. So going back, why do you think that Rosalinda did what she did? Why do you think that she gave away all of her lemons, and she gave away, even though someone stole from her? Think about that, and think about how at the end she was content. She was totally okay with giving away all of her lemons at the end. She was content. She was happy. So the giving the lemons to other people made her happy and made her feel good at the end of the story. She had learned that giving is more important. And leaving on that note, I want you to go back and think about the predictions that you made at the beginning, and if they came true to what happened at the end, what happened in the story. And also just thinking about the message of the story and why it's important to give back to your community and give back every day, and how it affects other people and it could affect you for other people doing good things for you as well. And I just want to thank the author, Edith Hope Fine, and the illustrator, Renee King Moreno, for making this book. And thank you so much.